You've been waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for someone to notice your talent, waiting for a wealthy investor, waiting for a mentor, waiting for a government program, waiting for your family to finally believe in your dream. Waiting. Because somewhere deep inside, you've convinced yourself that one day someone will arrive and change your life. But what if that day never comes? What if the opportunity you've been praying for never knocks? What if the hero of your story isn't driving toward you, but has been staring back at you in the mirror every single morning? Life has a painful lesson that most people discover far too late. No one can dream your dream for you. No one can take your risks. No one can endure your failures. And no one can build the future that only you were born to create. Support is real. Mentors are valuable. Opportunities exist. But they rarely appear before commitment. They usually appear after you've already decided to move. The first person who must believe in your vision is you. So why do so many people keep waiting? Waiting feels safe. It protects us from disappointment. If we never begin, we never have to face failure. So we disguise fear as preparation. I need more money. I need more experience. I need the right connections. I'll start next year. I just need one more course. But sometimes, preparation becomes procrastination wearing a professional suit. Years pass. Ideas remain inside notebooks. Dreams remain inside conversations. Businesses never leave the imagination, not because the ideas were bad, but because action kept being postponed. Look around. Some of the world's greatest businesses did not begin with perfect conditions. They began with imperfect people, making imperfect decisions, using imperfect resources. Opportunity rarely arrives fully built. More often, it is created by people willing to move before they feel ready. The difference between dreamers and doers is not talent. It is courage. So what happens the moment you stop waiting? Everything changes, not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you stop expecting someone else to carry your future. Ownership is powerful. It says, if no one opens the door, I'll build one. If no one gives me an opportunity, I'll create one. If I fail, I'll learn. If you wait until you feel confident, you may wait forever. Confidence is not the beginning of action. Action is the beginning of confidence. Every successful entrepreneur you admire once stood exactly where you are now, uncertain, afraid, inexperienced, with more questions than answers. The difference? They started anyway. They made mistakes, they lost money, they faced rejection. But every setback became a lesson instead of a reason to quit. Progress belongs to those willing to look foolish before they look successful. Because momentum is built through consistency, not perfection. And something remarkable begins to happen. People notice movement. Investors notice commitment. Mentors notice persistence. Customers notice consistency. The world responds differently to someone who is building than to someone who is only talking. Results create conversations. Progress attracts support, not because the world suddenly becomes fair, but because visible effort earns trust. When people see you showing up every day, learning, improving, refusing to quit, they begin to believe in your vision because they first saw you believe in it. The greatest opportunities often find people who were too busy working to wait for them. But in the end, there is one question every dreamer must answer. Years from now, when you look back at your life, what story will you tell? Will you remember all the reasons you waited? Or will you remember the day you finally decided to begin? Your children, your family, your community may never remember how afraid you were, but they will remember what your courage created. The business you built, the jobs you created, the problems you solved, the lives you changed. That legacy begins with one decision, not tomorrow. Today, no one is coming to save you. And perhaps that is the greatest gift life could ever give you, because the moment you stop waiting for rescue, you discover something extraordinary. You were never powerless. You were simply waiting for permission that you never needed. So write the first page, make the first call, sell the first product, build the first prototype, take the first step, because action creates momentum. Momentum creates opportunity, and opportunity changes lives, including yours.